Well, this weekend, hundreds of people are going to be in downtown Phoenix for the third annual Southwest Cannabis Conference and Expo.
Yeah, in fact, it's happening at the Phoenix Convention Center. And this year, former Mexican President Vicente Fox is one of the featured speakers. And Javier, he's in downtown Phoenix with more. Hey, Javi.
Hey, good morning indeed. Now, the showroom floor right now is pretty bare. They're all setting up. In fact, today they're full of workshops, and it's all about education. And that's why I want to introduce my next guest here with Bake Brothers. This is Nadim Al Hassan. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
Ah, see, pretty good indeed. You've been with this company about 4 years or so. I was asking, we were talking earlier about the stigma that some people have when you talk about medical marijuana or marijuana in general. How have you seen that change over the years?
Well, it's been legal. Medical cannabis has been legal in Arizona for going on 7 years now. We definitely have seen a drastic change. There is a recreational market within the medical market, but our emphasis is educating and teaching the consumers how products can be consumed, the differences between ingestion, inhaling, and I think if we really emphasize the message of education and exactly why we're here today, there's going to be 5,000 to 6,000 people over this weekend. If we can speak to them and make that impact, that's our whole focus.
I love what you were saying earlier. This is mostly about education. That's why you come to a conference like this. And are you amazed at how many people are wowed with the information that they receive when they come to one of these conferences?
Yes, absolutely. We have an extensive education program where we go to the dispensaries, 3 to 4 dispensaries a week. We see 400 to 500 dispensaries personally, and that wow factor is outstanding. When someone walks in and we have the ability to teach them, just briefly about edibles and consumables, how it's more efficient, how economically it's better for them, it lasts them longer, they are quick to turn to edibles and give it a shot. It's solely because they just didn't know, and so we're here to educate.
Yeah, Bake Brothers in 75 different dispensaries across the state. You must have a medical marijuana card. I want to bring in Dimitri right now. He's behind this conference. Let's talk about the conference as a whole, because when you talk about some of the headliners, I mean, you go, wow, this is big time.
Well, this year, this is our third annual conference, and this year we have President Fox. We like to try to keep it as relevant as possible, and President Fox is coming Saturday because he is now one of the premier international spokespeople about the change in marijuana policy. He doesn't necessarily advocate that somebody should be using marijuana for any recreational or medicinal purposes. His advocacy is for the drug war didn't make sense. The government needs to step in, tax and regulate and educate in whatever manner that the government perceives or the people of that society perceive marijuana should be used and accepted. In Mexico, it's an herbal remedy. They don't have a culture of hippies playing well, they do have a few hippies playing congos in the Zocalo, but they're not looked at in a positive way. So why Mexico had this giant drug war created where all these people suffered, not from the marijuana, but from the violence that was created by a lack of access to civil and criminal justice systems for those who are engaged in the activity of marijuana business. So what Fox has realized is that, and a lot of people in Mexico realize, internationally realize in different states, is that it's more intelligent approaches, regardless of how you feel about the quote-unquote marijuana problem, the management of it, the education of it should be through a tax and regulate model that promotes freedom rather than a black market model that promotes nothing but back alley dealings and dangerous situations that create problems for law enforcement and other individuals. So Fox is a great advocate of that. He has a lot more prestige than I do. Otherwise, I'd be out there just talking about it.
All right. Well, great information. Again, the showroom floor here on the Expo kicks off tomorrow. Something important to note, there will be no consumption of marijuana. And so anybody is welcome out here, whether you have a medical marijuana card or not. Guys, back to you.